Okay, yeah. Is that a natural disaster or is that something people have caused? Okay. I kind of want to go around this building. Make sure we didn't miss any gear. Or any marauders for that matter. Sure those bits will come in useful. Eventually. It means you literally can't enter the place. As far as I know, anyway. I could never get inside places that were like that unless you found a sneaky way in. Bugger. Okay, I'll just I think eat something. And yeah. Ringing ears thing. Okay, so just random lady stood there. Okay. Start heading back. Did I loot you? I did not. Need to remember my health is a little low right now. Yes, it is. Did I miss anything here? Because I got a much cooler looking helmet last time. Which makes me think, yeah, some of the drops are just random. RNG. I just got lucky with that drop. That's a shame. Well, that'll teach me to go and bloody die or save more often. Still don't get why she's just stood there the way she was. Yay, nice. Okay, points. Let's see. I want to get my dialogue up a little more. 40 would be ideal, but we can't do that. And I think 30. 40 is where things start getting more interesting, but lie, persuade, intimidate. Okay, they're all at 30 now. 1 point. We'll put into stealth for now. Probably are going to regret it and wish we had science. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's save that. Okay, perks. Perks. Carry weight, probably going to be a thing, but not right now. Resilient base armor rating. Champion crit chance sounds good. High maintenance. Take better care of your weapons and armor than most people. Durability. Yeah, that is actually quite a useful one. Lone Wolf now. The Negotiator. That sounds pretty good actually, but I think I can get that from other. Time dilation recharge 50% faster. Sounds like a plan. Okay. Now I'm guessing these guys aren't hostile, but right, let's not go in shooting. It may have been these guys that killed off a few of the...
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble.
You're not going to suddenly aggro when I get near, are you? Grace Ramiro. Hi there.
I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along.
Okay, I'm looking for... Adelaide, need some answers.
Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those.
Reed said something about former workers living out in the wilderness.
Yeah, that's us. And you can tell Thompson we're doing just fine by ourselves. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you.
Okay. Where you wouldn't happen to know anything about a geothermal plant nearby?
A geo what? Look, plants ain't my purview. You're better off asking after Adelaide. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind.
Enough. We've all got problems. I just got shot into space.
Explains why you're still yammering on at me. No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her.
Upbeat, little strange, loves Rizzos. Yeah, I met Zoe. She was in a marauder camp.
Thank the Eternal. Wait, marauder camp? Is she all right?
You mean in the head, or...?
Zoe's family. Chiding her is our purview, not yours. If you could bring her home, I'd be obliged. And if you could cross off some marauders on the way, I'd be much obliged.
Okay. Where can I find it now?
Over in the hothouse, tending crop.
Okay, and I've got questions about Zoe. Go on, then.
I'll tell you what I can.
How well do you know her?
Well enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does.
Yeah, you seem so personable. Can't imagine why you didn't get on with her.
She was lazy and thoughtless, but she's still one of our own.
Okay, let's change the subject.
What is it?
And leave the conversation. Okay. So what if I just go and tell her come back home? That could win me a little bit of favour with these guys straight away, and that's not going to be difficult because, well, basically we just cleared the place out. Kind of may have just broken the quest there. Not sure. I like that I just seem to be able to sprint indefinitely. Okay, she was kind of stood in the middle near a lot of stuff that looked like it could detonate. That's not... No, as I was running down the road, that looked a little bit like... it might be something that would explode. Put the gun away when we talked to her. She didn't seem to want to talk until I did put it away, which is kind of odd. Hi, Zoe.
What I wouldn't do for a Wentworth.
A what? Anyway, look. I've been sent to find you.
Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? Thanks, but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong.
Persuade. I can't imagine you're happy here. Food's awful, company's worse, and no serial dramas.
And no serial dramas. I've been thinking about going back. I just gotta know if Lord Cavendish really is the masked marketeer. I'll take my stuff and head on back, I suppose. Grace is gonna be glaring knives at me, so I've got that to look forward to.
Yeah, I think she loves you really, but bye. Okay, we did good. We did a good thing. And now we're going back. We're going back to hear Adelaide's side of the story. Yes, we are. You know, this game feels as though the devs looked at the most popular mods of Fallout New Vegas on the Nexus and basically just crammed it into a game. Okay, I'm guessing she's in there. Do these guys have like a bar or something? Or I never did check out. Oh yeah, look, some here. Are you available for conversation? Stefan Garcia. Hi there.
Zoe says she fought her way out of a marauder camp with her own bare hands.
Really? What are you selling?
Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
Okay, what have you got? You've got... Ooh, that's a lot of damage. We have worker outfit, gives me tech skills. This gives me melee. I don't need that. Beanie gives a science bonus. That's pretty nice. Restricted stock. I can't buy it. Okay, but I can sell you stuff. I've got 6% discount. That's nice. So let's sell junk. Nice. And then I don't need... Sell you the broken ones. That's not bad. I kind of want to give that away to a companion. I don't need two of those, I don't think. So maybe give it to one of them, and maybe not. Keep all that and... Right. Stun baton. I wonder if that's unique. Probably not, but... Was it? I've got 2... Yeah, sell my duplicates. Yeah. I think that'll do. So what have we got now? Quite a bit more. So, yeah. And these are just generic deserters. But I can't help myself here. No. Shame. Sure, imagine. It's not like they've got much, is it? Really? They've got chickens. So he's just going to his house, isn't he? Right. I think it's time to talk to Adele.
Oh gosh, it's so pretty.
Yeah. Actual Earth-type plants. Chlorophyll. The green. Okay, you've got some pretty creepy eyes, but okay. Hi.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
You must be Adele.
I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do
Oh,
just
Adelaide,
fine.
sorry.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
Sounds lovely. Looks like you've made a home for yourself out here.
A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose.
Okay, I'm glad that creepy light's
So
gone
like
off now.
the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots.
Okay, why did you leave your old home?
It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject.
Okay, it's a little cryptic, but is this your greenhouse?
No, dear. The garden belongs to us all. Life is the gift of the universe, and the universe yields its bounty equally, absent of prejudice.
I never knew you could grow tripe in a garden. Not exactly. No, that's the lining of a cow's stomach, but okay. I'm surprised you managed to grow anything out here.
The soil around the Vale went sour years ago, but I found a way to sweeten it back up. The secret recipe is a little bit of elbow grease, a dash of love, and a heaping pile of special fertilizer.
Okay, Reed sent me to make peace with you. Is that possible?
Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed
It
reptile?
was kind of...
Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
Something about coming back to town or losing power. Wasn't really listening. Reed asks that you consider coming back to town. He's willing to make amends. Yeah, that'll do.
Make amends? Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves.
Reed asked me to divert your power over to him. He mentioned a geothermal plant.
He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans?
Well, your camp has got a power regulator and I need it to repair my ship.
Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery.
Yeah, she's got a good point,
Seems
really.
the sort of thing a hero would do.
Yeah, yeah, okay. A hero to you, maybe.
A hero to the people who matter. To us. To the ones who come around. To the ones you save. Reed will never understand. He has been too long inebriated on the wine of corporate culture. All he sees is productivity, output, profits.
Okay. Well, let's say I help you. What happens to Edgewater?
Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives.
Okay, you think Reed's just trying to spite you?
You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it.
Come on, what's the real deal here? What have you got against the town? You were arguing with him.
You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scraps Spacer's Choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
Kind of true.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
Hey, but yeah, you threw that in his face.
I'm all right. I ain't so fragile.
That was unkind of me. I'm sorry, dear.
Yeah, what have you got against people trying to make a living anyway?
It's not much of a living. Every single person in that town has sold themselves to Spacer's Choice. The company owns them. Body, blood, and bones. You've been there. You've seen
Yeah,
it.
they are slaves, aren't they?
All anyone ever does is toil over a cannery. They give their lives for some heartless corporation, and then they're tossed into a Spacer's Choice brand cemetery.
And they have to pay rent on it, yeah. I guess you do have a point.
So, what do you say?
I'll consider it.
Divert power over to us. Shut down that abominable cannery for good.
I'll consider it.
I trust you will listen to your conscience.
It would be better. You know? Sorry. I think it would be better if like, she went back there and took over from him. What's that? Taskball carpenter. So that's complicated. Now I can divert power to the geothermal from return to Grace. Oh, I didn't even do that. Okay. Go tell her that Zoe's on her way back and apparently fought her way single-handedly out of the camp. Yeah, right.
What is it?
I talked Zoe into coming back.
We didn't always get along, but I'm glad to know she's safe. What happened, anyway?
She joined up with a band of marauders, but they didn't hurt her.
Zoe joined up with a band of marauders. Zoe. The same Zoe who doesn't know a barrel from a trigger. Well, I've heard stranger things.
I guess.
You pretty much did my job for me. Least I could do is pay you for your trouble. Let me know if I can do something for you.
I will. Thank you. And, bye. Okay. So, now comes the power of a stranger. Divert the power from the geo. You've learned one. Blah, 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 blah. I think, let's go back to Edgewater. Your reputation with the faction has changed. If enemies are hostile, but your deserter's reputation increased. Oh, well, that's all right. That's all right. I think we should go back to Edgewater and try talking to the chief again. Try and talk him out of this. Say, what about she comes back? Yeah, I should have waited until daytime. You can definitely see a lot more. Yes, you can. I'm hearing a lot of animals somewhere. Oh, it's just seagulls. Okay. Or, you know, space seagulls. Yeah, so we've got a couple of things we could do here. A couple of things we could do. Or try and do. Try and do. Okay, we've got the book to take back. Where was the church? I want to go to the church first.
Hey, you hear about Wilson?
Heard Marauders got in.
Just between us, Wilson deserted. Lost his nerve. Ran off in the thick of night.
You kidding me? Damn. Always thought he was made of scary stuff.
Okay, I think there's a mod bench in here so I can do some repairing, etc.
This is where the magic happens. Well, science. But it still happens.
Okay, so I can... Ooh, install a mod. What can I... No, I don't want to change it to shock. And I don't want to add a scope to it, so no on that one. Have I got anything for this one? Change it to shock. No, I think it's better off as it was, really. And no, I don't want a scope on that. I don't.
Happens.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Where's the damn church? I think if I... Oh, there we go. So now I've got a marker for the church.
Almost lost a finger in the cannery.
Yeah.
Heard something outside the walls.
The thing is, it's sort of like the food they're eating here is what's making them sick. It's like they're slaves to this bloody cannery. She's right. But, I mean, it's a lot better set up town with walls and whatnot.
Any progress on that matter we discussed?
Yeah, I've got your book right here.
Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well worth all the sacrifices I... Wait. What the fuck is this? Is this French? I can't fucking read French. It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French. Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokels about following the plan, while fighting it at every turn.
Okay. You didn't want that book to keep from others. You wanted it for yourself. Yeah, that book seems a bit more important than you let on.
There is little more important than such a precious, rare text. I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I had hoped this book held some of those answers. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. All the time and suffering I've spent. Wasted.
Plague-ridden backwater. What happened to all your crap about leading your flock? Yeah, that all went out the window pretty quick.
Please, those dolts? Nothing could be more excruciating than discussing the true nature of reality with people who have no interest beyond their next Aetherwave program. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But to do that, I'll first need to secure transport.
Aha.
You have a ship. Perhaps I could make myself of use to your crew.
Okay. What's in it for me?
Free spiritual counseling,
whoop-de-doo.
someone to watch your back, not to mention a grown-up in the party.
I'm 28.
Exactly. I'm pretty handy with a tossball stick, or any blunt instrument, really. I'm also a passable gun hand, if it comes to that. I can usually talk my way out of conflict, though.
Aha.
Oh, I'm fairly competent at hacking computers as well.
That's useful. That all part of your vicar training, though?
Well, understanding computers is, though I admit I took it further than most. And I was quite the 32nd back during my seminary days. Left many an opponent bleeding on the field.
Yeah, are you even a vicar? Because you aren't sounding very vicarly right now.
Of course. I'm a vicar who is dedicated to his calling. More dedicated than any other you'll find in this colony. I joined the OSI to help decipher the grand plan. But instead, I ended up the vicar in a prison due to ignorance and politics. Then I came here. Satisfied?
How did you get assigned to prison duty?
Most laypeople are not aware of this, but we've not discovered any new insights into the plan for a long, long time. I had an idea that we should welcome the truth, no matter where we found it. I had the worse idea to share my thoughts with a superior. And that's the long and short of it. So, what do you think?
Well, I don't think you're being completely honest with me about that book. Come on, what's the story?
It's the journal of one of the originators of the Philosopher's School of Thought, though it would be more than a century before it was perverted into that belief system. Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of that came later. Bokonu had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan.
I think you're going to get a shock when you read French philosophy, but okay, let's go.
Fantastic. Let me get my things in order and I'll catch up with you.
Okay.
Edgewater's gonna miss you. Folk here always had good things to say about their vicar.
Well, unfortunately, it's not
Thank you,
mutual,
Miss
is it?
I'll be glad for the change of scenery. And to leave this place
God, he
behind.
really hates it here, doesn't he?
I shall see you on the ship, Captain, whenever you're ready to leave Emerald Vale.
Okay. TNL makes the best gear for you, for your friends and family. Companion perks. Your companion has leveled up and will be granted a new perk. Go to the companion page in your ledger, yada, yada, yada. Okay. So, I think I just leveled as well. Awesome. Okay, let's get... What have I got in Persuade? Okay, 38 adjusted. Because I'm getting +6 from Pravati, which is handy. But I want to get my hack a little higher, and probably let's get guns a little higher as well. I want to get long guns up, rifles and such. But I don't want to leave science too far behind because of the engineering. I get better at other things, plus maybe a couple in there. Okay. See, that does leave me just short there, doesn't it? Okay, let's... Oh, I've got to revert. Okay, so... What? I thought I had 10 points. Oh, there we go. Right. Okay, so that's... Cower duration goes up, but more importantly, that'll make more dialogue options available. Okay, that's everything over 20 in there. They're all at 20, and I'll put the rest into ranged to slowly get better. Okay, so Pavrati, you've got a perk. What can you give me? +10 to engineering. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Nice. Okay, so he'll follow me once I get the ship up and running, which is obviously going to take a bit longer than I was anticipated. Who are you? Resident? Resident, okay. Redirect the power. Yeah. Try talking to Reed again. You never know. He might see reason. Because, I mean, like, she could come and take over here. She seems to have a lot more idea about leadership than he does. He's just, like, going to kill everyone at this rate. She'd, you know, be very, very bad. Lift music for the win. Let's try him again.
If you could see your way to getting us our power back, I'd appreciate it.
I wanted to talk to you about something.
Go ahead.
We need a word about this plague.
Can we not? Talking about unpleasant things always gets my bile up.
He's right, he is a bit of a reptile. You withhold medicine from your workers.
If I had enough medicine to treat everyone who fell sick, I would, but I don't. I can't save everyone. So I have to choose.
That's monstrous.
Yes, it is. And it's necessary.
No, it's not.
Spacer's choice is a family. And the survival of the family is more important than the survival of the individual.
No, you see, this is where you're going wrong. Spacer's choice is a corporation.
That I cannot say. There was no moment when the plagues began. Disease always lurks on the fringes of society, waiting to infect the idle and the lethargic. But in the last 10 years, the plagues have become progressively worse and increasingly frequent.
You should have developed an immunity after repeated exposure to a single strain of contagion.
Corporate doesn't like us using the word should. It encourages the imagination.
Oh, God, I hate you.
I believe plague is a test. It is a test of our loyalty and our fortitude. And it is one we will see through to the end. Go ahead.
You seem pretty fixed on bringing Adelaide back to the town.
Adelaide was our only flavor specialist. We are a Saltuna canning institution. Saltuna without flavor is like a cysty pig without tumors, borderline inedible.
That sounds disgusting. Don't you eat anything other than salt tuna?
Were it up to me, friend, I'd stack our larders with Saltuna galore. No other brand of Saltuna adds as much vim or vigor to the body's humors. But, and this is something we must keep between the two of us, Saltuna is hard to come by, what with being a species indigenous to the seas of another world.
Yeah, that's really, really stupid. You should try eating a vegetable.
A vegetable? You mean like hydrocale? Chewy, fibrous material that springs out of the dirt?
Yes, vegetables.
I do not trust any food that grows out of the dirt. Worms copulate in the dirt. Did you know that?
Yes. Also, they're kind of androgynous anyway. But look, hang on. So what are you canning here exactly?
Oh, we've scavenged together some organic material from the surrounding environs. Mostly organic, mostly local mushrooms. Some of which possess a texture akin to a well-boiled slab of saltuna. The difference is all but impossible to detect to any but the prissiest of palate.
Okay. So you don't want to eat vegetables, but you're quite happy to eat mushrooms.
Go ahead.
What makes you think I can convert these deserters to come back?
That you are not one of us may work to your advantage. Adelaide and her folk loathe the people of Edgewater, you see.
I think it's you she hates.
I admit the fault was mine. I'm about as diplomatic as a bristling canid. I just hope Adelaide and her folk will see their way past my flaws and return to town.
Yeah, but look, this is an ugly place to live. Of course these people are going to walk away.
Nature is uglier. There is safety here. Safety and purpose. But not all of us see that. And I cannot force that vision upon them. Yes, we have lost good workers to desertion. We have lost even more to plague. But it is why we must square our shoulders and carry on.
There's more to this. Look, you and Adelaide have a personal history.
Losing Adelaide was the hardest. She was our only flavor specialist. When she walked away, I knew we were in trouble. Spacer's Choice Saltuna is renowned across the system for its quality flavors and additives. We used to sell citrus-flavored Saltuna in our heyday. Ever since Adelaide left, we have been reduced to selling unflavored and spearmint.
Okay, have you got any other options here?
Go ahead.
Yeah, have you taken a look around your town lately?
It is my job to keep two eyes on my town. I am the steward of this place, and this is my watch post.
Yeah, your town is falling to pieces.
I wish you wouldn't say things like that.
Well, it doesn't make it any less true, my friend.
I expect you wouldn't understand. You don't see the town as I do.
No, I don't.
When I stand at my window and look out over my town, here's what I see. I see decent, loyal, hard-working people. I see a family. We are all part of the Spacer's Choice family. We are all doing what we were brought into this world to do.
Serve a company as a slave. I don't think really that's why you were born, no. How long have you worked here?
I'm trying to remember, 25 years, 26. When you get to my age, the years just rush by. You stop counting altogether. I remember looking out this window and seeing the veils spread out from horizon to horizon. We were a sprawling town. We were booming. Times change, people change, but the veil will always be here.
I don't know
Spacer's
so much.
Choice will always be here. Our work won't ever end. I take comfort in that.
Well, it will. If it stops making a profit, the company will just shut it down. You're loyal to Spacer's Choice.
This is a Spacer's Choice town. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family here. The company keeps us warm, keeps us fed, keeps us working. Loyalty's got nothing to do with it, friend. This is good old-fashioned gratitude.
I do not think so. Oh, God, he's talking to a brick wall. And I don't believe him saying, oh, he doesn't have any history with Adelaide. He definitely has history with Adelaide. Yes, he does. Can we go look here? Oh, it's the factory floor, yeah. Okay. Which doesn't leave a lot of choice. We've got to go take ourselves to the geothermal plant. Whichever option we choose, yeah, it's one or the other. Why can't it be both? I mean, if Adelaide came back and led the town, that would be, you know, I think would be the best option. I mean, she's got a lot better idea about it than he has, from what I can see. Is it worth going back and talking to her again? You know, it might be. It might be. It's a lot of toing and froing, though. I mean, look at the place. This used to be the town. And all they've done in the end is just build a bloody great wall around it. Did I not loot you? Oh, I did. Oh, God, it's spent so long talking to that guy, it's nearly dark again. I've earned a bit of reputation with this town now. Maybe... I don't know, maybe they'll listen? Is that even possible? I mean, they're hardly a million miles away, are they? We'll try talking to Adelaide one more time. I mean, there's no one else around here I should talk to, is there? Anybody useful?
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Oh, and a workbench as well. Thomas Kemp. Hi there.
Oh, didn't see you there. I was just occupying myself with a little engineering.
Okay.
Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi. Hello.
Are you, are things safe out here?
He's slightly obvious, isn't he?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this fella here.
Are you from town? I mean, you don't exactly look like you're from town.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Well, what I meant was you're reasonably well armed and don't look stricken with plague. Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair.
Well, you know, if it's an IKEA chair, I can understand it. Engineering, never too late to start learning. I could give you a couple of pointers, apparently.
I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged.
Well, today's your lucky day, Thomas. I've got one of those data pads you wanted.
No kidding. Really? Well, which one?
I'm glad this is telling me. Part 1, found it in the community center archives.
Look at that. Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer. I'm just glad it survived all these years.
Yeah, me too.
I appreciate you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special on the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me.
Okay, I'll let you know if I find any others. Ooh, 300. Nice.
Sure. I'd be glad to take them off your hands.
Okay, I should ask you about something else.
What's on your mind?
Oh yeah, there you go. How long have you lived here?
Couple months. This camp's my home. People you see milling about, they're my family. At least I think of them that way. I owe them my life. Would have died in the wilderness if they hadn't chanced upon me, starving and delirious.
Okay, what were you doing in the wilderness?
We all left the cannery for one reason or another. Me? I was let go, mostly on account of my incompetence. I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my own. Grace found me, Adelaide took me in, I've been on my feet ever since.
You weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery. Not like here. This place had a U-shaped hole, and now it doesn't.
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... I mean, we could really use... oh, this isn't coming out right. If you want, Adelaide would make a place for you.
Okay. She's not answering. I don't think she's... Yeah, you get it. She's not that keen.
What's on your mind?
No, nothing. And I can't just talk directly to you, can I?
Where are we headed?
Ooh. Ooh, I've got 2 of these. Let's try the most immediate one. Thomas seemed very fond of you.
He's just interested in fixing stuff. He always used to follow me around, asking me to explain what I was doing. Like a puppy, kinda.
I've not lately seen a man with a bigger or more obvious crush. Yeah.
I'm just glad he's alive. That he's okay. I mean, when Mr. Thompson said he was fired, we all expected the worst. If he wants to learn about engineering, we should help him get those data pads he wants.
Yeah, I'll probably...
I'd like to do that for him.
Okay, it's like friend zone. I get it. Okay, you mentioned something earlier that I wanted to ask about.
You mean about the mission being too clean?
Isn't it supposed to be clean? It's a church.
I know, but Vicker says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk.
Yeah.
The machine Vicker sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass.
Then why do you want to talk to him, then?
The Vicar's about the only soul in the Vale who spends his time thinking on what is and ain't right. It's just that when he looks at me, I feel I disappoint him.
Okay. In the bar, you asked if I was a drinker.
Sorry. I know it's none of my business.
I'm gonna guess you're not a drinker yourself.
Strong drink makes me sick. And it makes me real sad. I start thinking about things I oughtn't, and then... Well, never mind that. You got better things to think on. Sorry.
Well, you know, if you want to talk about it, I'm happy to listen.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said anything.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's try talking to Adelaide one more time. And if not, we're going to have to make a decision, because we need that damn coil to go get the ship running and ultimately go save all the passengers on that ship.
Anything else I can do for you?
this might sound strange, but I don't know where I am. Yeah, let's go for that.
That's not strange at all, dear. Few of us truly know where we are. The world can seem like a forest without end, and it is all too easy to lose one's way. But we must remember that being lost is the first step in discovering yourself.
No, I mean, I actually don't know where I am.
This is the old Botanical Lab in Emerald Vale, on Terra 2. By the look on your face, I'm guessing you're not quite following me. Are you not feeling well? Ought to lay your head down if you're running fever.
I was kidnapped by a crazy scientist and shot into space, but thanks for asking.
That sounds like fever talk, all right. So why am I tempted to believe you? Where did you say you were from?
Right, there you go. I didn't say. I actually arrived. From Earth, I suppose.
I could do without the mockery. If you don't want to tell me where you're from, that's fine by me.
Okay, you don't understand. I'm from the Hope.
Is that a new settlement of some kind? I haven't kept news from outside the Vale.
Okay, not exactly. It's a colony ship.
Oh, you're talking about that old piece of folklore. Now I'm convinced you're delirious. You really ought to lay your head down, dear. Babbling only agitates the humors. You ought to try some of my purgative tea. Won't cure what ails you, but it will distract you for a spell.
You don't believe me then?
Maybe I do. I don't know yet. Growing up, I heard my folks talking about the Hope. Always believed it was just a story we told ourselves to keep our spirits up. Listen, don't you worry about what I think. That's not important. Worry about what the board thinks of you going around talking about lost ships from decades past.
I'm not afraid of the board.
No, but the board may have reason to fear you.
Why?
You carry on about coming here from another world, and people will talk. Talk leads to questions. Ask enough questions, and the board comes answering.
Okay, Yoda.
I'm listening.
When we first talked, you assumed I'd come here to live.
I am getting old, you know. These two lamps of mine are not as bright as they once were. Or I might have seen you for what you are.
Okay, and what's that?
Remains to be seen. Might be the man that saves the Vale. Might be Reed's personal gun hand.
Save the Vale?
People around here lack the strength to effect change. Or they have the strength, but not the will. You seem to have both.
Okay, why are you telling me all this?
A little prattling never hurt anyone, dear. You might even catch a little sense, if you listen close enough. I can't stop you from conducting your business down at the plant. I just want you to know that if you take our power away, you will have brought an end to our way of life.
Well, look. Here we go. You could always continue your way of life back in town.
Not under Reed's watch. He and I would come to blows within a day, and he would never tolerate my tending to a garden. This is my home. It will be my home even if Reed cuts our power. Simple as that.
Okay. You and Reed obviously have some sort of history.
That's because Reed was my boss. I was the cannery's one and only flavor specialist, you see. Remember that limited run of white chocolate saltuna? That was all me.
There's obviously more to it than that.
My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left.
Yeah, I'm guessing Reed has his own version.
That's as much of the story as you need to hear. I could not possibly care less if he does, but you're surely welcome to ask him.
Damn. Okay, we've talked enough for now. I think I've exhausted that. She might... My God, that light from that makes everyone look freaky. it might be possible to get her to go back without, well, screwing everything up here. Because he wants those books. He did tell me where they were, didn't he? Find the 3 volumes. Says he knows that at least one of the volumes is in the local community centre and the other 2 used to be in the town of Edgewater. He also promised a reward for any volumes I find. They're back in town. If I go back to town, I could maybe find them. That might buy me an excuse to go back and try talking to Tobin again. Try and get him to see some bloody sense. I don't know. It's a lot of faffing around, I know, but, you know, maybe it'll be worth it.